Welcome everybody to Mindset Meditation on Mondays. I'm your host and guide, Donna Poulidis, also known as Donna PranaLakshmi. So it is wonderful to be with you here today. And we are just 2 days past Christmas Day. I hope you all had and are having a wonderful holiday season, whoever is watching this now during the holidays. And for many of us, so this is a season of light. It's also a coming out of the darkness. It's a very yin time of year. It's a very, obviously with winter solstice, we had the darkest and longest night of the year. And so then we're coming back into the light, and that's why it's the season of lights, why we hang up our lights, why we adorn the trees with lights, and we bring that light from our hearts as well. Now, when we look at both the darkness and the light, these are both aspects, neither positive nor negative. They're both necessary in this world of duality, that they're both needed to allow us to continue our awakening. And what I mean by that is there are times when we will be fully in our light and it will feel so abundant and joyous and free. And there will be other times where our shadows come up and when we are literally in the depths of darkness. And that is nothing to fear. In fact, once you become used to these polarities, you may actually enjoy being in both. And now, how can you enjoy being in the darkness? Just knowing that you're going to extract teachings from it, you're going to learn from it, and that out of the darkness again comes the light. So the light is always there. The light is always present. So one of the teachings that I'd like us to go into our meditation today is looking at dualities. Now, oftentimes in our body flow class and in our Hatha Yoga class, I lead Shavasana at the end. And when we're in Shavasana, I ask for the body to be heavy and the body to be light. Now, when we're in that visceral feelingness of the body, it's easy to explore because I can ask the sensations of what you're feeling to feel heavy and then alternatively to feel light. And I can hope that when clients are in Shavasana, that they're experiencing the feeling of both and alternating between the two. Now, what does that allow us? It allows us to be fully present to all that is. Now, duality may sound like black and white, a concept of there either is or there isn't, black and white, positive, negative, masculine, feminine. So it may seem like there's no gray space in between, but actually the gray space is that balance point, is that harmony, is that sense of equilibrium that every being, especially as humans, we strive for that. But what I'm asking for today is to also be okay with the peaks and the valleys and not just that in-between balanced state. So I'm hoping we can grasp this. It's a pretty big and deep and juicy concept because oftentimes we run away from what feels difficult. We run towards what feels good, but even the good can be a little bit scary because a lot of us have been conditioned that, you know, too much happiness, too much fun, well, there's going to be a down. And in reality, there usually is a downtime, but it doesn't have to be bad. It doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to be uncomfortable. We can start to get used to these fluctuations. And as we get used to the fluctuations, I believe that's when we start to achieve balance, because we know that the highs are beautiful and they feel good, and that it's okay, it's naturally going to come down. And during this festive time, it's good to be aware of this because sometimes it can be scary going into social situations. Everyone reacts differently. Some people get very addicted to the feeling of lots of people, lots of noise, different surroundings, party, and they can kind of get addicted to that. So then the down feels really down, and others are more closed into themselves. And then the other stuff feels a little bit shocking. And there's a whole range of in between, plus throw in family dynamics. And you'll see that a lot of people, can enjoy this time and also have challenges. And I've been hearing from friends and clients that, these challenges do come up, and it's good to really voice them and get them out. And while you do that, play with the dualities that we're going to play with right now, because that will also help to regulate you and see that it's all part of the spectrum. It's all part of life. There actually is no bad or good. There simply is. And when we can be in that feelingness and beingness, it actually starts to self-regulate itself out, and you get to feel the everyday a little bit more for what it is. The feelings intense, the feelings not so intense, the joys, the lows, and all of the in-betweens is a part of the fabric of life. All right, so having a seat where we are, taking a few deep breaths. Let that be part of your practice. As you come to your seat, as you lengthen your spine, as you prepare yourself to be in this receptive state of meditation, take those 3 deep belly breaths. And allow all of your awareness to situate itself, if you can, below the belly button, below the navel. Imagine you're breathing in and out from that really low and deep space. Now, even here, starting to play with the duality, make a big, deep breath low in the belly. So your exhalation is deep because it pulls in and you contract the belly button. And your inhalation is deep because you're expanding the belly and the abdomen. Do that a few more times. And then imagine you're transporting the breath to the chest, and I'd like you to breathe very lightly here. So really light, airy breath in the chest. Now we're just doing this to play. This is not how I actually want you to breathe for most of the time. So light breath in the chest. Notice what that feels like. And then drop it back down into the low belly. And if it helps, use your hands so you have palm on the belly, palm on the chest. Deep breath in the belly. And then lighter breath in the chest. Deep breath in the belly, which may take longer as you fill up and deflate, and light breath in the chest. Again, deep breath in the belly. Light breath in the chest. Beautiful. And then hands can be in prayer, or hands can be on your lap. I'm feeling prayer in this moment, because bringing the palms together, bringing all the finger pads to touch, and even gently pressing through the finger pads. These are all meridian points. These are energy points. And so when we bring our hands into this position, we're actually neutralizing and balancing again, and we're closing the circuitry of the body, creating a closed circuit. And bring the soles of your feet to the floor. Now, coming into coherent breath, this is a great way to bring our body into a state of, let's say, homeostasis. Inhale, count of 3, through the nose, of course. Hold, exhale through the nose, count of 3. Hold, inhale, 3. Hold, exhale, 3. Hold, inhale, 3. Hold, exhale, 3. Hold, inhale, 3. Exhale, 3. Good. Inhale, 4. Hold, exhale, 4. Hold, inhale, 4. Hold, exhale, 4. Hold. Now, just come back to a regular breath in and out through the nose. And now, instead of me guiding you, inhale 4, exhale 4. Now, it's body, feeling the whole physical body, body heavy. Notice the body feeling heavy. So you may feel weights on your feet pulling down. You may feel gravity pulling your seat down. You may feel legs, seat heavy towards the earth or in your chair pulling down. You may feel the spinal column as if it's rooting down. So body heavy. And then allowing that to simply leave, jumping from that and going to body light. So what does it feel like to have the body light? Feeling airy, spacious, feeling as if it's pulling upwards, drawing upwards. Body light. Good. Body heavy. So bring back those sensations. Now remember, it's neither good nor bad. It's not positive or negative. It just is. Body heavy. Body heavy could feel relaxing, could feel very grounding. Good. Body light. So what changes in you when you change these two states? Body light. Good. Now, just to experiment, we're going to go into emotional states. Feeling happy. What does it look like? What does it feel like to be happy? And just go there momentarily. Full sensation, full body, full emotion, feeling happy, smiling. And then feeling sad. So me just saying that word, what comes up? What do you feel? I felt a downwards pull in my heart as soon as I said sad. When I said happy, smiling. Good. So go back to happy. Could be subtle, could be very subtle variations. And then feeling sad. Okay, so we're not going into storylines, just feelings. Feeling angry. Let's go to anger. Notice a little, for me, all of a sudden rage comes up, but in a very subtle form. Boom. And it's good to be able to feel these things and distinguish. And let's go from anger then to peaceful. Feeling peaceful. What does that feel like? What are the sensations? So for me, that felt like, I just felt a flat line, like the beach, like the sand, just peace. Good. Feeling angry. What does it bring up? What are you noticing? Feeling peaceful. Good. Go back to feeling light. Body light, feeling light. Feeling heavy, body heavy. Feeling light, body light. Feeling heavy, body heavy. Now, on your own, dance between the two. And if you liked playing with the emotions, dance between the emotions. Let's be there for 1 minute. Good. And now I'd like you to explore. Let's explore the situation you've been dealing with recently. Could be anything. Try not to pick something too charged, but if it's there, then trust yourself and go with it. So find a challenging situation, challenging person, event, thing that is happening in your life, and be in that challenge. Now, if it brings up emotion, like I said, trust yourself to be able to be there and deal with it. Avoid getting stuck in a story. So criticism, blame, who did what. We stay away from stories and we simply can land in the challenge. What is the challenge? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Now, as much as you can, bring as much of that up and around as a picture, as an image, as a feeling. What's been challenging you? Now, your hands can be anywhere. Notice what's coming up as the challenge, the feelings, the visions, visuals, emotions, what arises. Where are you feeling this in your body? Where does it land in your body? Be with it for a few more seconds. Wonderful. Now take a breath in between just to leave that challenge, let it go for now. And I'd like you, with your eyes closed, go to the absolute opposite end. So if you could resolve this issue, if it could be fixed, if it could be just cleaned up and cleared up, what would the absolute opposite end of the spectrum look like? So not just best case scenario, like absolute opposite end of the spectrum. What does it look like? You know, it could involve things that may not ever present themselves in your life. I mean, just go way out of your imagination. The total opposite of what could be instead of this situation. And if you want to be as literal as, like, go to the absolute opposite of each issue in that challenge. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Now, make sure the emotions are opposite. We don't want something charged over there in a heavy way. So remember, body heavy, body light. Imagine the challenge is heavy. Now we go to the light, to the lightness. Now, fully be in that, immerse yourself in that, the feelings, the visions, the emotions. What does it be like to be in that complete opposite state? Even if you can't believe it, that it could happen, that's not what we're looking for. We want imagination right now, putting us in this opposite state, more than best case scenario, ultimate scenario. Notice it, be in it, feel it. Take one last breath there to be in that energy, feel that awareness of what it could be. Now go back to the challenge. Go back and sense the challenge, be with it. And imagine you're actually in it, living it, again, without drama, story, criticism, judgment. Just be in the challenge. What is it? If it helps, use words. Maybe they're less charged. And what I mean by words are titles, like my challenge is this. Be in that, notice it, feel it, live it. We're in the challenge. Now leave the challenge, take a breath. Travel to that other scenario. Travel to that opposite scenario, the out of the box, using your imagination. What would be the ultimate case scenario? Almost like a fantasy scenario. Be there, take a breath. Good, now in your own time, for the next minute, I'd like you to hop between the two. Fantasy scenario, challenge. Back to fantasy, back to challenge. Hop between the two for 1 minute. Be in all of the sensations. Good, and once you've hopped between those two states, take a breath. In fact, take 3 deep breaths, letting both go. In and out through the nose. If you must let go of excess energy, blow it out through the mouth. Good, maybe shake it out through the hands. And then with your eyes closed still, find a place in between the challenge, in between the fantasy. Go to the space in between and see what feels right. So we've just done this with one challenging situation, training our brains to get out of storylines, patterns, habits, go way off to the fantasy scenario and go between the two, because you'll see, and I hope, that your challenge may have lessened. In some cases, it heightens before it lessens. So it might just take a practice and time. Might be a really charged situation you need to come back to a few times. And usually it lessens, because when we give something presence, I didn't want to say attention, because they say where attention goes, energy goes. But when we give a challenge, instead of pushing it away, we give it attention and presence. We actually minimize it. It's less. And then we hopped to the fantasy to give ourselves the opportunity to get out of whatever box we were in, preconceived notions, and then find a space in between. Doesn't have to be exactly 50%. Just find a space in between that resonates with you. And you'll feel that, oh, I could live with that. Oh, I could do that. Oh, I could see myself being that or having that. Recognize those feelings and see if you can stretch yourself a little bit. So we don't go to the comfort, we don't go to the lack, and I'm sure you're feeling the difference. We go to the in-between, which is actually out of the comfort zone, because usually the challenge is in the comfort zone. So we get out of the comfort zone and we sit in a space that feels right. And if you want to stretch towards the fantasy, go for it. You know, stretch goals are good. Now, take a moment, take any imagery here, take snapshots, pictures of what this feels like, what it is, so that you can even start to set up baby steps towards this as a goal. I always encourage journaling after this class, depending on what came up. Stuff came up for me too. It was good. And come back to those 3 deep breaths situated really low, below the belly button, almost into the pelvis. Deep breaths. Go even deeper to your root, the root of your tailbone, the root of your seat. And breathe into your legs. Imagine these are tree trunks rooting with the earth. And then the feet and your toes are part of the root system. Breathe into the feet and toes and the soles of your feet connecting with the earth. Now they pull down, but they also bring nourishment up. So imagine now from the soles of the feet, from the tips of your toes, into the feet and legs, lower legs, knees, thighs, groin, pelvis. You're pulling up nutrients. Now pull those nutrients up into the belly, the entire abdominal structure, into the chest, your whole back, your arms, your hands, your fingers. Bring up nourishment. It feels as if Mother Earth right now is feeding us. Take that nourishment. Can you see it? I can see it coming up through all of the channels, the energy channels, meridians in the body, up into the heart, filling the lungs, all of the vital organs, into the chest, the shoulders. We already did the arms, do them again, fingers, radiating out like sunlight, beams of light. And then keep drawing up that nutrition up through the throat, into the face, the entire head, the skull. And let's do 3 breaths where we're blowing out the air as smoke, because we're blowing out what no longer serves. And this is a nice time of year. Take the next few days, release what no longer serves. So breathe in through the nose. Feel that nourishment still coming up through our root system. And then we're just exhaling as the tree exhales. We're exhaling what no longer serves. 3 more times. Last one. Good. Now shake it out through the hands. Shake through the fingers. If you need to open your eyes now, go right ahead. Shake, 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 shake. Good. Shake the head. Now I'm seated, but if you're standing, like really let go. Stand up, shake it all out. Let your head and body fold down and shake it all out. And then come back. Wow. So feel that energy buzzing through your whole system. And today's practice was a really good one now for the end of the year and even into the beginning of this new year, because as you see, you go to a challenge and then you go to that, let's call it fantasy, imagination, other realm of possibilities. And then we find, oh, this feels right to me. So you can use that, I'd say, for the next week and really explore these parts of yourself. Now, I'm sure you felt a shift and a change. And then let's bless this meeting with 3 sounds of Om and Shanti for peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thank you for being here for yourself today. First and foremost, it is through our own personal healing that we can even attempt to heal what is around us. Our healing heals everything else. So I wish you blessings, abundance, a beautiful end and a healing end to 2021 as we go into an incredible 2022. Thank you all.